Jimmy Butler, what a polarizing player who has, for much of his career, been heavily criticized. The last time the Bulls made the playoffs in 2017, they had Jimmy Butler. The Timberwolves' last playoff appearance that ended their very, very long playoff drought, they had Jimmy Butler. The 76ers were essentially one win away from the Eastern Conference Finals in 2019 with, that's right, you guessed it, Jimmy Butler. This is going to sound very dumb to say, but I feel like that Raptors 76ers series in 2019 was a lot closer than many people remember. The Raptors went on to win the NBA championship, but what did it take for the Raptors to get to the championship? What did it take for the Toronto Raptors to take out Jimmy Butler, Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, and questionable coaching? The 76ers literally lost this series at the buzzer. If Kawhi Leonard misses that shot, who knows? That 76ers team, it had a lot of flaws, but Jimmy Butler masked them. That's what great players do. Jimmy Butler's team out in Miami, this team isn't like the 76ers one. It's different. Miami is a top-notch organization. It's a team with talent all over the roster, and it's got a coach that's been there before. Eric Spoelstra didn't come in this league as a highly touted, heavily coveted coach. What he's worked for, he's earned. And I feel like that's synonymous with the culture down in Miami. Now, when I go more in depth in this video, I want you guys to have an open ear. I feel like a lot of people are going to come to this video ready to hate, but that shouldn't be the case. It's basketball and we all have opinions. I just ask that you respect mine, and I'll respect yours. That stuff going on with Danny Green, I think that's really whack. You should never threaten a player. Danny Green nor LeBron James lost that game. That game didn't come down to one play. It's easy to point fingers, but there was a full game played before that shot. There were many baskets that were missed, and there were many baskets that were made. It's a team game. Now, before we go any further, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. You will not want to miss another Get Like Coop video, and that's facts. It would be really awesome if you guys could do me a giant favor and drop a like on this video. Liking this video tells YouTube that you guys enjoy my content, and it helps me become a bigger and better content creator. Lastly, if you guys like NFL football, I'm going to have the link to my NFL channel in the description below. Check that out if you enjoy football. So I'm going to tell you guys why the Miami Heat are essentially the champs of the 2020 NBA season. Regardless of what happens in the NBA Finals, I feel like this season could not have gone any better for the Miami Heat. This was a team that missed the playoffs last season, finishing behind the Detroit Pistons, the Orlando Magic, and also the Charlotte Hornets. The difference a year makes. The Miami Heat, by many, were expected to be a rebuilding project going into this season, even after acquiring Jimmy Butler. And even if you thought the Miami Heat weren't going to be a rebuilding project, I'm not sure how many people had this team in the 2020 NBA Finals to start the year, especially coming into the playoffs as the 5th seed. Regardless of what happens in the NBA Finals, we have to call this Miami team a winner. Though a championship always makes things all the sweeter. In the 2020 NBA Finals, the Miami Heat would lose a major ball handler and arguably their second best perimeter player in Goran Dragic. While everybody started counting Miami out, they got to work. The Dragic injury would hurt the Heat in a major way. As a matter of fact, Dragic wouldn't be the only injury to rattle this team in the playoffs. But again, the Miami Heat have a culture and mindset in place that's very attractive to free agents. And we're going to expand on that more in just a second. Many view the Western Conference as much better than the Eastern Conference. If the Miami Heat are able to go toe-to-toe with LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers, the best the West has to offer and one of the greatest players of all time, why would a star not want to come to Miami? Did I tell you guys the Miami Heat have already lined up a max contract slot for the 2021 NBA free agency period? Miami is a beautiful market, but it's an even more beautiful city. They have the roster and they have the blueprint. They have their own superpowered Draymond Green and Bam Adebayo, a versatile do-it-all big that can play like a guard, that can guard multiple positions and fill it up any given night. And he's going to be getting much, much better going forward. They have Tyler Hero, who has star potential, and they have Kendrick Nunn, who's also not afraid of the moment. They have great role players that really aren't getting a lot of minutes this series, and they also shoot the ball very, very well from three. Yeah, big shout out to Duncan Robinson. So if you're a star player and you're worried about spacing, let me tell you about this roster that the Miami Heat have. This roster that shot the second best percentage from the three-point line in the regular season. Yeah, the Miami Heat have Jimmy Butler, who currently doesn't shoot a great three-point percentage, but when it comes down to it, he can easily knock down an open shot. And yeah, they also have Bam Adebayo, who's not a great shooter at this stage of his career, but you see the evolving game and the work he puts in every offseason. Looking back at it, it's crazy to think this Miami team was once in the running for Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook. This is a team built to compete now, but not just now, 5, 10, possibly even 15 years down the road. And saying 15 sounds ridiculous, but when you scout and you develop players as well as Miami, you can see why I would have so much faith in this team being good for so long. Also, they already have the talent on their roster. Now, the rumor, and I wouldn't even call this a rumor at this point, is that the Miami Heat have created this 2021 max contract slot to go after a big-time free agent in 2021. This is a team that knows it's a dream destination. They're already the favorites for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Oh wait, did I not mention that? If the Heat are already this good without Giannis, let's do some basic math. Add Giannis to the equation. Wait, where have we seen this story before? If you're Giannis, you look at that three-point percentage that the Heat shoot, and you go, yeah, we could really do some damage out in Miami. It's hard to build a wall when you have great shooters all around you. It's hard to build a wall when you have a great coach in Eric Spoelstra. As great as Giannis is, I don't think he's the best ball handler, and he's certainly not the best passer. So sometimes when the wall gets built, he simply panics and he doesn't make the right read. I'm not sure he should be handling the ball at the volume he does. With Spoelstra, with the Miami Heat, Giannis would be able to do much more than just run some 5-out basketball. But if he really wanted to, that would be an option also. The Miami Heat have a great motion offense, and Bam is one of the best screen guys in the NBA. He's so versatile, and he's among the top of the league in screen assists. Miami is a selfless team with a big mindset. I really feel like coaches in the NBA don't get talked about enough, but we've seen players want to play for coaches all of the time. At what point do we start naming Spoelstra as one of those coaches that players really want to play for? This guy is a basketball genius, and to be very blunt, there aren't many elite coaches in the NBA, at least not anymore. The 2021 NBA free agency class is ridiculous. Chris Paul, LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, Blake Griffin, Paul George, Mike Conley, Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan, Otto Porter, Drew Holiday, Rudy Gobert, AD, Andre Drummond. While a lot of these guys are going to resign, could you imagine if Miami simply got one of these players? If you're the Miami Heat and you somehow miss out on Giannis, I want to know down in the comments who you guys would go for. Jimmy Butler already said that he expects one star to join him in Miami. He said this team is really good at getting what they want to win a championship. It's gonna happen. If there was any doubt before, I think that's all removed. Man, I didn't even talk about the history of this Miami team, but I think you guys all know how that goes. Be sure to click the video on the screen right now. Be sure to subscribe. I'm GetLikeCoop, guys, and I will see you in the next one.